Now play the Indian National Anthem, please. Good morning and a very warm welcome to the Honorable President and First Lady of India. Welcome dear members from the Indian community in Bangladesh and friends from Bangladesh on this very special occasion. I will now request the High Commissioner of India to Bangladesh, Shri Vikram Duraiswamy, to kindly give the welcome address.
Respected Rashtrapati Ji, Srimati Savita Kovind Ji, First Lady of India, Shweta Ji, Your Excellency Minister of Agriculture of Bangladesh, Your Excellency Minister of Food of Bangladesh, respected Minister of State for Education of India, members of Parliament from Bangladesh and the one member of Parliament from India, distinguished delegates from India, in particular Secretary to the President and Foreign Secretary of India, friends from Bangladesh and Indians in Bangladesh, Bir Mukti Yoddhas and war veterans of 1971 from the Indian Armed Forces. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, namaskar, salam alaikum, and thank you for being here. It is a proud privilege for any diplomatic mission to prepare for a visit and to host a visit by the first citizens of our own country. We are honored to host you on your first visit since the coronavirus pandemic, respected Rashtrapati Ji. Excellencies, friends, colleagues, my colleagues and I serve in Bangladesh, serve India in Bangladesh, always conscious that we do so in the name of our republic, that is our home, and at the pleasure of the President of that republic. And so, Honorable Rashtrapati Ji, it is an honor and a privilege for all of us here in the High Commission of India to greet you and the First Lady as you pay your first visit to one of our closest, most cherished partners. We are honored especially that we were able to be the team that hosted your state visit to Bangladesh as guest of honor for the historic commemoration of 50 years of the celebrated victory of Indian and Bangladeshi forces in the liberation of Bangladesh, many of whose heroes are amongst us here today. For this was an epochal event that changed the political map of the world and the ideological map of South Asia, as you yourself said, Rashtrapati Ji. Your visit, respected Rashtrapati Ji, is doubly an honor. This is the first time that we have had both our President and our Prime Minister visit Bangladesh, perhaps in recent memory, at least in any other country, in the same calendar year. This is testimony to the highest priority that India and its people attach to the relationship with Bangladesh. A partnership that transcends strategic partnerships, a friendship that has unique roots, and most of all, a bond forged in shared sacrifice. And that bond, ladies and gentlemen, is unbreakable. Respected Rashtrapati Ji, Madam Kovind Ji, your visit has indeed been historic, and this is your last program for your stay with us. It is appropriate then that we have assembled here a representative sample of the millions of friends of the India-Bangladesh relationship. All of them have been inspired by Bangabandhu's vision of a South Asia that is at peace with itself, connected through trade and transportation links, energized by shared innovation and research, and driven forward by the prospects of prosperity through partnership. With them are many of our own citizens, Indians in Bangladesh, who have, through their work and their dedication, given India a good name in this vitally important country. Our citizens lead Indian and multinational companies here. They're also scholars and teachers, and they represent international organizations in Bangladesh. They make us proud every day. A special salute, Rashtrapati Ji, from all of us to the war heroes here from India and Bangladesh. They were comrades in arms in the Liberation War of 1971. Age may have reached them with its debilitating embrace, but their heroic deeds and their courage are burnished forever in our memories. And it is in our hearts that these brave veterans of both countries will live forever, immortalized in the youth they cheerfully placed at harm's way 50 years ago, so that this beautiful country could live in freedom. We pay tribute again to them. And now, respected Rashtrapati Ji, it is my proud privilege to request you to address this august audience. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Dr. Mohammad Razak, Minister of Agriculture, Government of Bangladesh. Dr. Subhas Sarkar, Union Minister of State for Education, Government of India. Sri Rajdeep Roy, Member of Parliament, Lok Sabha. Sri Vikram Doraiswamy, High Commissioner of India to Bangladesh. Friends of India in Bangladesh, distinguished members of the Indian community in Bangladesh, members of the Indian delegation, ladies and gentlemen. সকলকে আমার আন্তরিক অভিনন্দন জানাই। I am delighted to be here in Dhaka today in this historic 50th year of India-Bangladesh friendship, along with the pleasure and honor of visiting a close neighbor. I am deeply touched by the warmth and affection of the people of Bangladesh. Just before coming to meet you all, this morning I went to the historic Ramana Kali temple, where I had the privilege of inaugurating the renovated temple. I look at it as a blessing from Ma Kali. I have been told that the governments and the people of Bangladesh and India helped in restoring the temple, which was demolished by Pakistani forces during the War of Liberation. A large number of people were killed by the occupation forces. This temple is a symbol of the spiritual and cultural bonding among the people of India and Bangladesh. This marked an auspicious finale to my visit to Bangladesh. Ladies and gentlemen, since the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic last year, this is my first visit abroad. I consider it most appropriate that this first visit of mine is to your great country, Bangladesh, during this very special year as we jointly celebrate the 50th anniversary of the liberation of Bangladesh and establishment of our diplomatic ties. I pay tribute to the enormous sacrifices made by the people of Bangladesh to achieve freedom from tyranny. We salute your indomitable courage in fighting against the formidable odds and standing up against injustice. And I also pay homage to the sacrifices of your friends from India and the Indian Armed Forces who laid down their lives in support of a righteous cause. Ladies and gentlemen, Bangladesh has a special place in the hearts of Indians. Ours is a uniquely close relationship based on age-old ties of kinship, shared language, and culture. Our ties have been nurtured by the sagacious leadership of the two countries. While paying homage to Bangabandhu at his home in 32 Dhanmondi, I was reminded of the Declaration of Independence that Bangabandhu had issued in Dhaka on 26 March 1971. The atrocities and genocide faced by the people of Bangladesh and the armed struggle of the Mukti Bahini against the brutal Pakistani occupation forces. I pay my respect to the tens of thousands of women whose dignity was violated and the helpless civilians who were tortured and executed for no fault except their desire to live an honorable life. Today, as our country becomes a model of growth and development in the region, it has proven to the world that the fight of the people of Bangladesh was for a just cause. This fight was for fundamental democratic rights, and that the emergence of Bangladesh was indeed the power of right defeating the power of might. Ladies and gentlemen, following the liberation war, Bangladesh has undergone major socio-economic transformation, especially under the leadership of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. India has also witnessed commendable growth. The economic and social linkages that have been forged between the people of our two nations have also contributed to this shared story of growth and development. I am glad that the leadership in both countries is cognizant that our growth trajectories are interlinked and that sharing of resources and experiences is the mantra for sustainable development. The two governments have also ensured that the fundamentals of our economies remain strong and robust. I am glad to note that our two sides have also made strong commitments to make our growth inclusive, sustainable, and environment friendly. I see huge potential in strengthening the cooperation further in the areas of green energy and clean technology. Ladies and gentlemen, as a country that also shares land borders with Bhutan and Nepal, India is conscious of the fact that a well-connected and better integrated sub-region is important for achieving a better standard of living for our people and meeting their growth and developmental aspirations. In this spirit, India remains committed to assisting Bangladesh in its journey towards a strong economy, partnering with you as you proceed to greater prosperity. I also urge our business communities on both the sides to seize this opportunity to enhance our trade and economic linkages to new heights, especially between Bangladesh and our northeastern region. We are fortunate to be young nations, blessed with energetic and creative populations. Our youth is our biggest resource. We must harness this demographic dividend to ensure it contributes to nation building. I am happy to note that focus is being given on youth exchanges and capacity building initiatives. This will help in building skills needed to succeed in this globalized world. I also congratulate all the Indian citizens present here today. You all have made a mark in various sectors of importance in Bangladesh. While you have contributed to the economic and social development of Bangladesh, you have also cemented our long-standing close bilateral relations. You are making India proud of bringing prosperity to our region. While doing so, you have also followed the values and traditions of our country, which are also part of our shared heritage with Bangladesh. Maintaining Bangladesh's foundational values of a progressive, inclusive, democratic, and harmonious society has been one of the major contributions of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. As I assured His Excellency the President and the Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, India will stand in support of a Bangladesh that embodies the values that emerged from the liberation movement of this country. Ladies and gentlemen, you are aware that safety, security, welfare and well-being of Indian citizens in all parts of the world is a priority for our government. In every corner of the world, over the last 1.5 years, the government made special efforts to enable our citizens to return home during the worst phase of the COVID-19 pandemic. Our government will continue to take all necessary steps to strengthen our links with our citizens abroad, as well as with our diaspora. I am pleased to note that the Indian High Commission in Dhaka was at the forefront of our Vande Bharat mission and other welfare activities for Indian citizens in distress. As we celebrate Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav in India, I urge our citizens here to come forward and contribute in their own way to the cause of nation building. Ladies and gentlemen, to our friends in Bangladesh, let me assure you again that India values our extraordinary goodwill and friendship. We look forward to remaining closely connected to jointly achieving development and prosperity and to meeting the aspirations of our people. In this unique year, when we are celebrating the Golden Jubilee of the Liberation War, the birth centenary of Bangabandhu, and the 50th anniversary of our friendship, as well as the 75th anniversary of India's independence, let us rededicate ourselves towards fulfilling the dreams of the founding fathers of our nation. I am confident that the bond forged by blood and sacrifice in 1971 will continue to bind our nations together in future too. I wish you all success and good health in these difficult pandemic times. Dhanyavad o Shubheksha. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Rashtrapati Ji, for your kind words. I now request you all to rise for the Indian National Anthem.